Hi, I'm Nick Lines. I'm just a vicar from the parish that way, about a mile from here. So I'm just a vicar, but it's the best place in the world. So it's this is Portia. Portia, I understand that you used to work for the National Health Service for about 45 years.
Yes.
And you retired just a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us how your retirement has changed the way that you live out and share your faith?
Sure, yes. Well, working in the NHS, and certainly in the last about 10 years of my career, we were not encouraged to share our Christian faith with anybody, be that patient or staff, unless you were asked. We were not encouraged to wear any overtly Christian symbols when in uniform, be that a cross around your neck or a pin badge. Every December we'd have the email from the trust saying, please do not send an overtly Christian Christmas card. You may offend your colleague who is of a different or no faith. And in the last couple of years, the December display in the foyer at Southmead Hospital turned from being a Christian one with Happy Christmas banner to Happy Winter Festival. It was very strange times, but I did manage to share my faith there. They knew that sometimes I'd disappear off during my break time, go and visit a parishioner who was a patient or take a reserved sacrament, and of course wearing scrubs. I didn't have to bother about patient visiting times. But yes, 4 years ago, almost, I retired. And you would think that I'm going to see less people every day. I'll have less opportunity. But of course, I do not work under these restrictions any longer. I've got that freedom to be me. And strangely, God has very odd timings, God incidences. My last couple of years of working in the NHS, I started on a formation period, and I became licensed as a lay minister 3 months after I retired. And so I swapped one paid job for another unpaid job. Brilliant. But I think the most important, significant change has been when you meet people. That social, down the pub, we all say, don't we, what do you do? We're looked at as to what we do. And of course, I used to say, I work in the NHS. I often didn't explain what I did. I did quite a weird job. I was a clinical neurophysiologist. But nowadays, I invariably say, I'm a part of the ministry team at my local church. So I get the reply, so you're a vicar, are you? And I said, no, I'm a licensed lay minister. And the conversation starts. It's an opener. I, for many years, have volunteered with St. Peter's Hospice in the inpatient unit at Brentry, just sitting on the reception on a Saturday morning. Staff there know that I'm a Christian. There are no restrictions there. You can talk about your faith. And they will come to me with their questions, or they may bring a relative of a patient. Can you sit and talk to so-and-so? And in fact, 2 weeks ago, when it was my duty, on 2 separate occasions, 2 members of nursing staff, during their breaks, asked to come and talk to me. They had questions about their faith or a very difficult patient situation. They'd recently died that morning, and they wanted to sit and talk, and they knew I was a Christian. So being retired, your front line changes, but I think we just have to be open to those little nudges of God. And yesterday, I did the 1-hour led Thy Kingdom Come reflection. I decided to do it out in our churchyard. So every 15 minutes when the church clock struck, people would come, we'd have a short reflection, I'd send them off to do their thing. But I stayed put, sat, and we have people walking through our churchyard to go from one shop to the other. I'd say hello to them, and they'd start talking. And if I was sat there with my knitting, you could guarantee that people would come up and talk to me. What is that you're knitting? Would you like to knit me one? I often do sock knitting. And that's the opener. And you only need the opener, and just let God work it through you. Does that make sense?
Brilliant. Thanks, Portia. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Now,